think I'm live. Let's see. Yes, it says the content of this meeting is being sent to YouTube. Okay, well, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Mojo, Morning Mojo Live. I'll be on my own today. I have been informed that my compatriot will not be able to join me, but that's okay. I am here for me, as always. Oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure and pull you guys up over here so I can stay up to date with the conversation. You have to bear with me. I tell you, having two separate and different YouTube channels and having to sign out of one and go into the other and all these different things just to get to. There we go. Is that it? No. Are we live? Bear with me, y'all, while I go over here and see. Oh, yes. Okay, I see. We are live. There we are. Okay, I'll be able to see the chat now. So, I was shown so much about connection, our connection to each other, and how we affect each other. Yesterday was so filled with so much more synchronicity for me, and um, Crystal reached out to me a little later on, and she has said before, I think she said yesterday, we it's like she and I rededicated ourselves to open ourselves up to the universe to play. And I know I feel what she's speaking on there, and I feel like that's the case because boy, ever since I have, it's really been flooding in again, right? And it's not lost on me that the moment I came back and put myself back out, well, facing me, because again, remember, you're watching this, but all I can see is me. And all I'm really speaking to is me. And I know that this is a huge metaphor for me on such a huge level because that's what humanity is, really, right? We're all just here having experiences. And so mm, I'm having a clove tea. It's we make a concentrated clove. And it's absolutely delicious this morning. So, at any rate, let me just say that I had so much synchronicity come in yesterday, just carrying on from the live that I had. I was shown another reader, Cindy, over Awakening to Spirit. She reads tarot, and often she gets uh, messages for the collective. And wowie, this came up in my field, and I wasn't even 15 minutes in, and I had to send it to Crystal because it was just so. I just the messages contained within it were just so right there, and she absolutely agreed with me. So this is really interesting. Two cards came out from this um, Alchemy Elementals deck by Shaman Durek. Wow, this is water waterfall star, which is really, really, really interesting. You see, yesterday we had what I feel was so many messages coming from the sun, right? With an element of truth in it, because I actually really saw the Ace of Swords in that as well, right? Oh my word. And this is actually a three numerologically. The card is number 39, but it's a three numerologically. So that is the Trinity again. Well, again, what's so interesting about this is there's a synchronicity. Again, I was telling you about the reading that came across my path from Cindy, and it's one of the very last cards that she pulled that was the underlying was that there was information, data coming through the stars. And what is this? I'm sorry, but a deluge of light information coming through the stars. I mean, okay, maybe it's just me, And the a second card that came out. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is the first card I've seen like this. It's called Mental. That's quite an interesting little bit of artwork there. And so, since we got two cards from there, I feel like these are the ones. I'm just going to go for the gusto here. And the first one, these are again. This one's a little bit different in the way they have it laid out. And it is waterfall. No, waterfall. There's a card index in the back of the book where you can find which page they're on. Waterfall star is on page 53, which is an 8. So that's kind of interesting too. All right. So page 53. Far enough. There we go. Your purity of spirit and heart based actions have not gone unnoticed, my love. Your sacred presence is known and cherished by many, by those whose hearts you've expanded and whose cups you've filled with your generosity, your integrity, and your love. Bask in the knowingness that you are seen and that you are appreciated. Feel the acknowledgement, receive the adoration. Allow yourself to be recognized for the truth of your spirit and the unconditional love that you emanate. This love that is pouring into you now is a reflection of your own greatness, dear one. The more you are able to take in, the more you serve your community by modeling graceful receiving and the expansive power of love. Now, you know what? In the times past, when reading something like that, I would have probably broken down into tears at the receipt of that. So I'm noticing as I was reading that that's not, I receive that because I, in part because of all the synchronicity that I've been shown in regards to connection and how I now know with all of me, I can see it so very clearly the way that we we do affect just our that which we carry in our fields affects and impacts everything, all of those around us. We don't have to say a word. Just being yourself emanates. And I feel like this is And that's what I really deeply came to see that this morning specifically. I found a YouTube channel, came across my field of vision that lit up for me, and I dove into it, and it's called Deep Connection. That's the name of the channel, Deep Connection. And I watched a video where these guys, like three guys, went in a neighborhood and knocked on strangers' doors and asked if they could come in and make them dinner. And the beauty, the deep connection that can be had. I couldn't unsee that after everything else that took place for me yesterday. Well, really, that has taken place since, like Crystal said, I opened myself back up to the universe and said, "Show me what's missing." Well, part of it is that deep connection. And I don't get that sitting here in North Carolina in my room alone by myself. I do it like this because for me, a part of my own connection is connecting with some of you. I'm a projector. I need someone to connect to. So that's very interesting. I feel like that's a whole lot about what's coming in from the cosmos in general, right? What's coming in the cosmos in general. Okay, so mental is way in the back of the book. The mental pillar. When the mental pillar appears, the spirits are pointing your attention toward your mind and how it's working or not working for you. This pillar is about the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the ideas you imagine. It's about communication and manifestation and self-talk. Boy, oh boy, that's not lost on me about that. Ugh, that's like so timely. So check in with yourself. What are you feeding your mind? What are you thinking for are you thinking for yourself, or are you thinking against yourself? Are you wording yourself up, or are you tearing yourself down? The mental pillar is about reading, writing, and manifesting. There's another synchronicity that was absolutely in that reading that Cindy had that I saw yesterday about the reading, the writing, and the manifesting. Oh my word. It's also about innovating, learning new skills, and imagining a better world. That's what I say. In order to pull in the new, I have to let go of all the old ideas, the old ways of looking at things, of doing things. Um, this pillar is as much about what you are taking into your mind as it is about what your mind is putting out into the world. Are you thinking beautiful thoughts and telling yourself wonderful things and speaking kindness and encouragement to your tribe and into the world? What are the cards telling you about the quality of your mind? What shifts are the spirits wanting you to make so that you can upgrade your mental faculties? Well, for me personally, I know, oh wow, and there's a lot about frequency in this card for me too. I mean, I don't know if it shows up there on camera very well, but it's almost as though there's this frequency emanating. I know it's not showing up very well in there, but it's like squiggly lines and then it comes out from there. Um, uh, the there is something within me, my unique makeup, that I can sit in silent rumination for months, apparently, on things, but it's not until I start speaking on it that it actually permeates my own damn field. So that's why I say I'm not here trying to teach you anything. This is so I get the message so that the not just there's something about my toning it for myself. I've had that experience where I've been ruminating on stuff and then I go to somebody and ask them to help me suss it out, and I realize that it's the talking about it, it's the conversating about it that helps me figure out me. And a lot sometimes it takes a village, it takes a tribe. Help me see me. I'm a projector. I don't see in my own field too well, right? That's one of the reasons that I find it comical that I'm collecting projectors. I have more friends that are projectors than should be really statistically possible for how many of us there are in the collective. There's only 20% of the population of Earth, 20 or so percent of the population of Earth that are, according to the folks that do it, that are projectors. And yet it's about 75% of the folks I know are projectors, which I find really very interesting. Okay, so we're going to do a Rumi card, and then I'm going to let this be this for today, as I have a hot date waiting for me. A friend of mine and I are going to get together in Zoom and have us a good old fashioned chew the fat session. This is the kind of stuff I live for, having conversations, conscious conversations. And I can't, it's really the impetus behind my having a channel to begin with, by the way. I wanted to have conversations in regards to consciousness, and I couldn't really find folks in my area that could get out of their own way enough to try to have a conversation. And, it was more of the almost what we got going on. Oh, this is the same card from the other day that just came flying out. Victory of Mariam. And y'all saw me shuffling it. That's very interesting. I don't recall what the card said, but it's card number 41. So that's a 5 numerologically, which is the number of change for me. And I really do. We have so much change going on right now in our fields, on the planet. Just so much. Okay, the victory of Miriam. If you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? You are in a quarry of sweets. Why do you look so sour? You live in the spring of life. Why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your victory. No, I'm sorry, your glory. Your glory. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? Why be a lame ass when you have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive to open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all your locks. Rumi. Wow. It's not lost on me that we just had this. I don't know, it was maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. I know it wasn't yesterday. You feel you are a mortal, and I know you are divine. You feel you are not ready for the task, and I know that triumph is only moments away. You reach for me for protection, but you are me, and the protection that you seek is already with you. We are not apart. I am living through all that you are and all that you love, all that you have lost, and all that you offer to me in surrender. I am in you as your courage and magnificence, and any task I send to you is simply one of the tasks for which you were born. You are an eagle with wings ready to soar. So I push you from the cliff top that you may know yourself. This oracle brings you a message of affirmation and success. Your victory is already assured. You are being led into it now. I know, because those of you that tune into me resonate with a very much the same frequency that I hold. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't tune into these things. And for me, uh, it was a long road for me to be able to see the things in my past that I suffered through as anything other than suffering and pain and misery. Because when in the midst of all of that, I label it this and that and the other thing, is I have no other way but that to think of, but having come out the other side of a lot of that, which has been informed by a lot of my programming and conditioning, I can see that I have a choice of perspective. I have a choice of how I view a thing, how I label it, how I see it, how I experience it. I've been in miserable states. Don't think I haven't. Somebody who laid at death's door for 12 years, let me just say. Yeah. Um, no matter if you have forgotten, wait a minute. I'm going to start back here. This oracle brings you a message of affirmation and success. Your victory is already assured. You are being led into it now. No matter if you believe it is not, whether you believe it is possible or not, you are placing more faith in the appearance of distraction or obstacle than in utter success. No matter if you have forgotten for a moment that the divine lives in you as you, and that apparent failure is only a part of the process, the plan through which learning happens, serving the ultimate holy victory. Yes, your victory is inevitable. So you are being given this reminder from the Holy Mother Mary, also called Miriam, and the beloved divine presence of love that she serves. It is the presence that is real. It is the Holy Mother that is real. It is the divine in you that is real. and all else swirls around you so your soul can play. Every challenge and adventure is an opportunity for you to test your mettle and to be what you are in truth. The eagle that flies requires space and open sky. The tigress that hunts requires hunger to drive her to fulfill her being and live her nature. You need what you need to realize your divine nature as a living, holy expression of the greatest love. So life is providing for you that your needs be met. Whatever may be troubling you or is soon to present itself is not a situation or a circumstance meant to bring you trouble. You just need to allow yourself to become more eagle-eyed, beloved wild one. It is not what appears to be that is the source of challenge for you. Not at all. It never is. Nothing is ever what it seems. I've come to now know. Oh, I can call it that. I can label it that if I want to. I can believe that it is that if I really want to, based on all my other experiences. But remember, I've said early and often on this channel, I am operating under the assumptions now that most everything I've been told in my entire life has been tainted and incorrect. Misinformation, disinformation. I trust none of it. I'm forming all new thoughts, feelings, opinions about things. I question everything at this point. Hence the cue. Question everything at this point. Can you allow yourself to shift perspective? Yes, you know this is truth. It is only in forgetfulness that fear creeps in. Oh, yes, to forget for a moment that you are divinity and to lapse into erroneous belief that the challenges are more real than the love they veil. No, the real challenge is in the attitude, not in any circumstance or situation. And I know when in the midst of any situation that feels icky, that it doesn't fit, that all of these feel like words of platitude until the mind is shifted, until the mindset shifts. And the only one that can shift that is the being who's having the issue. Will you remember that all is divinity manifesting and nothing exists outside of it? All is perfectly designed to help you fulfill your being, live your truth, experience your power, and reside in the perfection of your divine loving heart. Be curious rather than afraid. What is loving seeking to draw out of you now? It is always love in interaction with you, even if sometimes you feel like you are hauling a massive rock on your back up the steepest of all the hills to build a temple at its apex. Believe me, I'm laughing because I see myself at the 490-pound mark, hauling around the boulder on my shoulder everywhere I went, and that's such a huge metaphor too. I've been nothing but a walking metaphor. I can see that now, man. I'm telling you, it's just too delicious to really look over your life and realize just how silly it all actually has been. You'll just drink in the view instead. You'll forget what you were supposed to worry about. Oh, don't you hate it when that happens? You'll just have to love in that moment and be peaceful instead. It makes more sense to notice the sunset than to turn your back upon its glory and grumble about how heavy those rocks were. Then, in your inspiration and forgetfulness, you'll dream of another temple and the process of creation, perhaps with more lugging about of great heavy rocks, and it will begin again. But then, so too will another captivating sunset be granted, best witnessed in your newly built temple that renders you speechless and spellbound. This oracle brings you guidance and comfort, whatever is going on in your life right now, whether it brings you joy or deepest struggle. The divine, whether it brings you joy or deepest struggle, the divine in you as you breaking through into your life. I do feel like that's true. I now know with all of me, I had to go through those 12 years. Apparently, I had to run so hard from myself for so long so that I could see what I did to myself. And because I'm asking to be shown and I've opened myself to the universe and I pay attention and I collect those puzzle pieces, I am being shown at every turn by the universe and I can relate it back to different things in my life. Mm. Because I've really started paying attention to me and my innate. I really am seeing those things. Um, Do not hesitate to trust in it. Embrace it fully and let it have its way. There is nothing there that needs to be resisted. You are safe to be wild, to be alive. Live it with love and let it unfold. I love that. One of the followers of this channel, actually not just this channel, he's followed me over the years. James Whitkus coined the term unfolding from within. And I love that because that is exactly what we're doing here. We are unfolding from within, discovering the multidimensional portions of self and what and why. You see, I look at everything as communicating with me what it is I need to know. The promise of success is yours, so allow yourself to be brought to it through the guiding wisdom of life, the life that serves love. There is also a part of you that is daring to love, to live, and to trust more so than before. You are even daring to quit the traumatic tendency to relive so many past hurts and aches. You no longer want to taunt yourself with failure and critique. You are less frightened of yourself, so you do not need to sabotage yourself anymore. That's so interesting because I I had a conversation with myself this morning about, well, am I sabotaging myself? Why do I sabotage myself? Right? You are learning love's way and claiming it as your own. That is so true. That is your path to victory assured. This oracle asks you to trust in your growing optimism. Good. To let the war be over and over now and put it behind you, even if it means weeping with sweet sorrow and relief for a while. The sunset is golden. The struggle is behind you. Now just rest and enjoy the golden glow as you rest with love a long, long while. Wow, I love that. And that even, I swear this card actually looks like breaking out of boxes of limitations or circles of limitations, if you will, to me, right? I think I talked about that a little bit the last time we had this card. Wow. Well, I want to remark that consistently here again today, there's been three of you that have tuned in. And I want to thank you three, even if you're not the same three, even if you're not the exact same three. It's again, every time I've looked, there's been three folks here live. And so even if you're not the same three folks, I want to still thank you because I have a feeling that if I could, um, if I don't know, I feel like it is, but at any rate, I could be wrong. Um, there is something about it that being three here for me consistently. Three is one of those numbers that means a lot to me. They surround me at every corner, and I view it as the Trinity. So it has a special meaning to me. So thank you guys for being here, for tuning in. If you are catching this on the replay and you're new here, welcome. Um, be sure, please, to like and subscribe. Um, I'm not sure exactly yet how I'm going to be doing it, but I'm going to be starting to hold more conscious conversations with beings who are ready to have conscious conversations. There's a lot of that missing in this world right now, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of, the ability to have conversations, to talk about hard topics, but also to talk about them in terms of the light worker or in terms of, the truth of who we are, is what I'm saying, in terms of the metaphor for what they are, because of the way I tend to perceive my reality. I I keep being shown, remember, I'm being asked, I keep being shown that it is a collective reality, but we participate um, by agreement. Things only happen by agreement. I am only in your world at this moment because you sought me out, right? That's why I'm a big right now you can't convince me that, when folks feel drawn to each other, there's a reason for that, right? It's it's that interconnected the ripples or something. I don't know, but at any rate, the point I'm trying to make here is that while you cannot create in my own reality, you can affect mine if I allow it, and same for you, right? I can affect yours if you allow it. But remember, I have to remember that's by agreement, and I am in control of my reality, and you are in control of yours. And I just think that things show themselves to me, for reasons that I haven't totally gleaned yet. And it seems to me like I keep having it reflected to me that the entire overarching thing we're doing here is finding ourselves, finding the truth of who we are, finding out how we actually operate. What's It's not what we've been told, that's for certain. It's not what everybody else here who's made some guesses, or most of it's been channeled, and even the scientists, all of that stuff can be manipulated. Oh boy, I keep being shown how everything is manipulated. And of course it has to be, because it's coming through, even it's coming through an individual who has been shaped by a lifetime of experiences. So of course that is what they mean by distortions in the law of one books. distortions of what actually is meant. I've done this myself in my own channelings, right? Where I've accidentally distorted the information I was given because I interpreted it incorrectly. So, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I love you so much, and I appreciate your being here. Until the next time we meet, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy and that which draws you in, because there is something there for you, and just being present, bringing myself more present. Thank you for allowing me to do that with me, with you. Till next time, be well, my friends.